Thank you for tuning in. Before I do anything here, though, I want to give a little tip to those of you who have our office number and call us trying to be guests on our program. And those of you to whom this applies will take the hint. If you've called us 5 times or more and we have not returned your phone call, it's not because we haven't heard your messages. Listen carefully. It is because we will never, ever, 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 ever have you on this program. You can call us till you're blue in the face. I don't care who you write for. I don't care what you do. I don't care how brilliant you think you are. If we haven't called you back, stop calling. We're never putting you on. You know which people you are. Stop it. If we're interested, we'll call you. But let me give you a little hint. Don't hold your breath. We're not interested. Okay? So I don't care who you are, okay? Author, car columnist, whatever you are, I don't care what you are. We're not putting you on the air. You've called here repeatedly. It means we're not interested. In fact, we're so not interested, we don't want to speak to you personally because some of you are so obnoxious. The messages are so overbearing. We don't even want to speak live to you. So I'm speaking to you over the air to tell you, stop calling us. You're never getting on. And we have stalking laws here in California. Now, some of you who are doing this live in the Seattle area. California has stalking laws. If you continue to call, we will prosecute. So stop. You know who you are. Never will we put you on the air. Never. Unless you write the next Unabomber manifesto and you threaten to blow up an airport, you're not getting on the air. Okay, that's the only way I could foresee that you would ever get on the air, is if you took people hostage and threatened to kill them. Maybe then. I wouldn't recommend that because you know what? I'm leaning against putting you on even in that case. Let them die. So, call another show. Call somebody else. Don't call this show. Okay? Take that as some free advice. Some people do not have lives calling our answering machine over and over in the office, trying to get on the program. You'll never, ever get on. It's not that we missed your last call. It's not that we didn't get the message. We got it. You're an overbearing moron. You'll never get on. Period. Ever. Never. Stop. Don't make me play your message on the air, complete with the phone number, and let the listeners decide whether or not they want to have you on the air. You wouldn't want us to do that, would you? So stop calling here. Yeah, well, let the listeners decide whether you ought to be on the air. They can call you personally, and they can tell you whether or not they want to hear you as a guest for a full hour on this program. Okay? That's where we're going next with this. So I recommend you stop right now. Thank you for tuning in. Andrew writes in and says, "Hi, Tom. A friend of mine and I were carpooling a few months back, and we heard you say something about a show you would be doing in the future. Things you can say to a woman and can never take back. I was wondering if you'd already done that show. Thanks, Tom." Signed, Andrew. Andrew, thank you. Many times we're in the middle of having one conversation about something. And then I say, what that last caller said would make a good topic another day. we usually get around to them many times the same day. Sometimes, I forget, the show's going 180 miles an hour, and sometimes we lose stuff through the cracks. This is definitely a show I wanted to do, and let's tell you why. Because I have done this, and not only have I done this, but I have been with women who have been in these situations and have recounted them to me. Let me give you an example. I was with a woman who owned a fair amount of lingerie. And she said to me, "What do you think of lingerie?" Which seems like a really innocent question, like, what do you think of pancakes? Or, what do you think of a sunny day? You know, I'm not really thinking. What do you think of lingerie? And my response was, well, take it or leave it. Commentary on an individual. It was not a commentary on somebody's taste. It was not a negative comment. It was a generic, general conversation about lingerie. And I said I could live with it or without it. Little did I know that the person I was with, who had a lingerie collection, would proceed to go to her underwear drawers and empty them of lingerie of all price points and threw it all away. And then after she did all that, she started coming to bed in long, overly large T-shirts. Now let me tell you what was behind what I said and why I said it. You see, for me, lingerie doesn't do anything. If I have a choice between you and lingerie and you naked, I'll take naked. I like the look and feel of natural skin. I like it. I like it when you're naked. I like that. I'm not offended if you wear lingerie. But if you ask me my preference and I answer you honestly, the honest answer is you naked. That's what I want. That's what I like. That's what I want. Obviously, the person I said this to thought I was saying, I hate lingerie, or I hate your choice in lingerie, or I hate you in lingerie. At the time I made this comment, I realized, following the act of throwing out all the lingerie, I kind of had an epiphany. I kind of had a revelation. And the revelation is this. Women wear lingerie for themselves, not us. Here are the reasons why women wear lingerie. One, to hide something they don't want you to see. Beer gut, that little pouch effect that women have after they've had a baby or two. They're trying to cover that up. Saggy boobs. They think they weigh 5 or 10 pounds too much or maybe more. No boobs. An ass, a little cheesecake action on the ass, a little cellulite problem or something. Lingerie is always sold to women as something that men want. And women see it as a convenient way to either do one of the following, okay? Either cover something up, or some women are, no matter how modern women like to think they are, and how liberated they are, and how much they are like us, in many cases, women are still afraid to say, F me. The older they are, the more afraid they are of this. And so what they do is, by wearing lingerie, it's their way of saying, I'm horny, tonight's the night, I want you to F me. Without having to say it in words. Those are the reasons women wear lingerie. So, I guess the answer I was supposed to give was, when you're wearing it, it looks great. And leave it at that. But I didn't. I gave an honest answer. I could take it or leave it. And I paid for it. I paid for it. Because the person who did this didn't want to come to bed naked. Didn't like coming to bed naked. Was afraid that I would, see something. I don't know. And so, I had to live with, and literally for the rest of the time we had a relationship, I had to live with these, extra large t-shirts. Like men's t-shirts. That's what she wore. And that was it. So when I didn't get lingerie anymore, she dressed up another way, or dressed in such a way as to say, non-verbally, don't touch me. And then when I said, why do you wear t-shirts to bed? She said, well, you said you hate lingerie. I said, that didn't mean I was saying I like you wearing like a Samuel Adams promotional t-shirt to bed. It meant I prefer you naked. So, you just go back and forth on that stuff. But the bottom line is, that answer, I gave an honest answer to a simple, seemingly innocuous question. I paid for it. Forever. For the rest of the relationship. And it screwed up our sex life for the rest of our relationship. It was one of the things that screwed over the rest of the relationship. Merely because I gave the wrong answer to a simple question. And of course, when you do that frequently, that is expanded and extrapolated to mean other things. As in, you don't like the way I look, you think I'm fat, you think I'm old, you think I'm... It starts spilling over into other stuff that you never said. And eventually becomes the general perception. He's so unattracted to me. He told me, don't even bother wearing lingerie anymore, because he doesn't like the way I look in lingerie. So I tossed on my lingerie, and now I'm wearing t-shirts, and now he definitely won't touch me anymore. So I knew I was right, because now he doesn't even touch me anymore. Yeah, okay. All based on a misunderstanding that could never be fixed. Never. It could never be fixed. That was the end right there. Okay? Now, I was with a woman who had this experience with another man. And once she told me that she was this sensitive about a comment somebody made, it scared the hell out of me, and eventually I think that ended our relationship too. Here's what happened. A woman I was with once made dinner for an ex-husband. And she said, what do you think? And he said, well, I think you cooked it a little too long. He didn't say, I hate your cooking, you're incompetent, this is lousy. She asked an honest question. What do you think? Chances are he thought she wanted some constructive criticism or some input. But no, what she wanted was to be told, essentially what she wanted was the whole concept that, when a turkey flies, you don't complain that it doesn't fly high or well. The turkey flew. The fact is, she made dinner. What do you think? And the response should have been something like, thank you for making dinner, thank you. But he didn't think like a woman, he thought like a man. What do you think? I think it's a little overcooked. He answered the question. Wrong answer. That was the last time she ever made any food for him. Ever. And any time he would say, in the beginning of our relationship, you used to cook for us. Why don't you do it anymore? She told him, you don't like my cooking. You told me so. And the guy apparently had to scratch his head and go, well, I told you I didn't like your cooking. When did I do that? Well, remember that time I made the roasted? I asked you what you thought. You said it was too dry. It was too overcooked. So I figured if you don't like it, you can cook for yourself. That was it. Done. She never cooked again, and of course, eventually, the relationship ended. Because anytime you have a relationship where everything is black or white, well, if you're going to do that, I'm never going to do this again. They always end. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like me in T-shirts, that's it. I'll never wear another T-shirt for the rest of my life. You know, those kind of comments? Have you ever been with somebody like that? Well, if you don't like my mother, fine. From now on, I'll see my mother. You won't ever have to be there. Ever. For the rest of your life. That's it. I'm going to see her, and you're not going to be there. That's that. Those relationships never last. People giving these dictates. People responding to what appear to be innocent questions with honest answers and then being punished for it forever. It never lasts. Never. So, no, you got them both wrong. Dean's trying to guess which women. Nope. He's got them wrong. Which is good, because every time I talk about this stuff, women from my past call me and say, you were talking about me, weren't you? And, of course, 9 times out of 10, they got it wrong. For some reason, they think I was talking about them, and in reality, I was talking about somebody else. So when Dean can't guess, that's good. In any case, here's what I'm asking you. Now, you could be a man or a woman and answer this question, but you know how this is, right? It's a nice day. You're sitting there. I don't know what you're doing. Listening to a CD, reading a book, hanging out in your backyard, watching a movie. Whatever. And the person you're with asks you a simple question. Here's another one people love to ask. If I lost a kidney, would you give me one of yours? Ever had that one? My question for you is this. Have you ever said anything that you couldn't take back?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
We don't dump you because you're a slut. God damn it. Men live for sluts.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis on Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
All right, what have you said to a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover? What have you said that you could never take back?
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. All right, something you said to a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife seemed innocuous at the time, and you paid for it forever. Gary on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Gary.
How are you, Tom?
Do you care?
Oh, always, buddy.
Doing great.
Okay, this is one line that just killed the rest of my life. My ex-fiancée moved down in with me from up north.
Yes.
And one day she was getting, she's arguing, like, just get on my nerves. And all I said was, can I please have some peace in my house? Now, because I said my and not ours, she got upset. She ran off. She was gone for 2 days. She claimed that, she got raped, but I found out later she's out partying with some guys she just met. And she went downhill from there as far as the cycle head trips. And it just tore me apart.
Wow. Wow.
One word, R for my. That one little thing just killed me for like a whole year and a half.
Oh, my God. And I bet if you brought it up again, you'd pay it for another year and a half.
Oh, man, don't even...
Remember that time I said my house? You got really upset about that.
Hey, Tom, you can blow me up?
Here you go, Gary. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Robert on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Robert.
What's up, Tom?
Not nearly enough, Robert.
All right, I got a story right here. Well, one day one of my girlfriends wanted to do something nice for me and cook for me. So I got, all right, go ahead. And she said, all right, I'll do some steamed rice and some pork chop. And all right, cool. When I went to her house to go get something to eat, she burned the steamed rice, and I laughed. That was a mistake.
That was it?
That was the last time she cooked for me, did anything for me, did anything in bed. That didn't last with me. Eating rice. She got so insecure that she couldn't cook. Well, she couldn't, first of all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I had another one. My big mouth had to say that my ex also had a Jennifer Lopez butt, and she doesn't.
She doesn't, but you said it anyway.
Yeah.
Now, what made you say that, if I may ask?
Because she was asking. Honestly, I asked. she told me. She asked me, and I just said, yeah, she has a big butt, and then she asked, what did I think about yours? I was like, it's all right, not as big as my ex, but, yours is cute. Oh, my God, that was the last time I had something from her.
Oh, is that so? That was it, huh?
That was it.
That was what ended it, right there.
That was it.
Oh,
I just, most of these women so insecure, I just can't understand these women. Try to be honest, and they screw you.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, blow me up.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Victor on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Victor.
Hey, man, had to call in. Love the show.
Thank you.
I had a girlfriend when right after we graduated from college. We're still pretty young, about 22 years old. We're watching a show. And in the show, I think this guy had been married with a wife or something for 20 years, ends up leaving her for this hot, like 22-year-old or whatever. So she's sitting there disgusted. I think I was reading or something. I ain't really paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And she turns to me and she goes, I just don't understand how people can do that. I mean, what was he thinking? Do you understand what's going on? I don't know what happened. Total brain freeze. Without thinking, I just said, maybe she just let herself really go.
That's all you said?
That's all I said, and my God, all of a sudden, I thought she was going to cry.
Why?
She was so pissed, because I said maybe she let herself go.
But you weren't talking about her, were you?
No, but it was about the TV show. She said, how can people do that? Can you understand how somebody would do that? And all I said was, well, maybe she just really let herself go.
No, I know, but why did she take it personally? She thought it was aimed at her?
You know what? It might as well have been, because for the rest of the time we were together, we were together about a year before that. For the next year, every time there was an attractive girl or something, even though she was young, I had to reassure her that I would still love her, 20 years later, and, she put on weight or whatever happened. But, you're right. I was sitting there going, it was a stupid comment. Did it without thinking, but, man, I paid for it. Every time it was, I had to...
Now, sometimes women do let themselves go.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But
then you have to let them go.
It's not kosher to say
that. You might as well have gone for broke and just added the last bite.
Oh, man, this one other time, I didn't tell Dino this, but another time she asked me, she was pretty, well endowed about a C cup, and she asked me if she had the biggest boobs of any girlfriends I had. The smart answer to that would have been, of course you do, but, it wasn't true. I had a girlfriend who was like a D cup before her.
Yeah.
I answered that one honestly, too.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that was dumb. I ended up paying for that. She actually did cry after I told her that one. After a while, I finally learned out. Now I just keep my mouth shut. I was like, okay, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Tom, can you take me out old school?
Yeah, of course I can, Victor.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. What did you say to a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband or wife? You didn't realize it was a big deal at the time, but later you realized you couldn't take it back and you were never going to be allowed to forget about it. Martin on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Martin.
How's it going?
Do you care?
Yeah, I do care.
I'm doing great.
Well, there's this chick I was dating for about 6 months, and we used to jump back and forth to our apartments, and I used to cook dinner for her all the time.
Uh-huh.
So then she goes, well, I'm going to cook you a nice dinner and stuff like that, and we're going to bring some friends over, and she was going to do stir-fry. So she went through all this trouble and went and got minute rice at the store and all this other stuff. So then we get there, and she cooked this meal, and the rice didn't turn out right, and we were starting to drink, and everybody was getting a little bit crazy. So, we were joking around. I told my buddies, and her friends that, it took her an hour to make minute rice.
Which is a funny line.
Which is a funny line, and everybody was, a little tipsy and stuff. And that was it. That broke the camel's back. I mean, she wouldn't cook for me anymore, and she wouldn't let me cook for her anymore, and it just went downhill after that. And we stopped seeing each other, and that was it.
Wow.
She never cooked for me again. But, I think she got embarrassed and upset because I made a joke about her cooking, and she put all this effort into it, and everybody started laughing and got a kick out of it, and I guess that must have hurt her feelings.
Boy, oh boy. Martin, thank you for that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Eric on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Eric.
How you doing?
Do you care?
Immensely.
I'm doing great.
Hey, first-time caller from Albuquerque.
Yes.
Love the show. I think my lucky stars every day you're out here.
Thank you.
Talk radio out here is pretty crappy.
Yeah, that's the word on the street.
You know how small towns can be.
I do.
But, I remember one time an ex of mine, she went to one of those designer hair salon places, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so she came back. She's like, so what do you think? And I was just like, that cost $100?
And what'd she say to that?
She said, well, you don't like my hair? I started whining and crying. I was like, no, I just can't believe that cost $100. I could have done a better job for myself. You could only pay me $40. She goes and shaves her head.
I'll bet that didn't cost $1.
No, it didn't cost her anything. She even used my clippers.
Now that's overly sensitive.
Just a tad.
That is a comment on how expensive things are, not whether she looked good or not.
It was a comment on the person who did her hair.
By the way, women can never when you say, it's the way guys think, when a woman shows you a new purse. What is your first thought?
Well, my first thought is the purse, and whether or not I like it or not.
And no, it isn't. If you're paying...
The first price is the price.
Of course it's the... How much did that cost? That's the first thing. And what will women usually say in response? Is that all you think about?
Yeah.
All you think about is money? I went and spent all day looking for this purse, and all you care about is how much it costs.
Of course.
Why, yes, because I've never known in all the years I've been on this earth, I've never known a man to say to a woman, hey, hot purse, do me.
Oh, I want you now. That purse just does it for me.
Oh, I'm getting hot. I'm pitching a tent over here looking at that purse.
Oh, hey, women, they're crazy. They're just crazy people.
Oh, and by the way, a purse contains money. So, of course, you think about money when you look at a purse.
Yeah, it contains our money.
Generally it does. Or it did contain your money until they bought the next purse.
Yep. Right. Hey, Tom, great talking to you. Can you take me out JFK and save me Jesus?
JFK Senior or Junior, Eric?
Senior.
Senior, of course. Here we go.
Thank you, Jesus!
1-800-5800-TOM. Jerry on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jerry.
Well, a few years ago, the year that, Olympia had its earthquake.
Yes.
My husband went and he bought me a ring, and it was not too long before my birthday, and he gave it to me on my birthday, and the comment out of my mouth was, oh, this is different. I guess I'll have to get used to it. And my husband...
What was it you had to get used to? Wearing a ring?
It was a ring that I would wear not on my wedding finger, of course, but on a different finger. And it was the style. It was something I hadn't ever seen before. And so I really like it now because I've been wearing it for the last 2 years.
Right.
But at first, it just wasn't something I liked.
Yes.
But like I said, it was something I'd have to get used to. Well, I just had my birthday this past weekend, and my husband wouldn't buy me a necklace. He wouldn't buy me earrings. He wouldn't buy me any jewelry because he said he's never buying me jewelry again.
Yes.
Well, I guess I stuck my foot in my mouth on that one. So He did make an exception on a watch, though. He'll buy me a watch only because I have to know what time it is to be to work on time. So, but other than that, that was definitely a faux pas on my behalf because suppose after 7 years of marriage, I won't ever be getting jewelry again.
You're paying for it to this day, for God's sake. Don on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Don.
I'll tell you what, one thing you never do is mess with a woman with postpartum depression. Yeah, it's supposed to last a couple of months. She was over a year, and I looked at her. She was crying. I said, oh, just deal with it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I was gone. She said, I never want to see you again, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it, huh?
Was,
you know what I always tell everybody, when the chick has her period or she's got postpartum depression, just turn to her and say, hey, buck up. They love that.
That's what I did, but she didn't like the way I said it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
they love that.
You deal with it.
Come on, buck up.
Yeah, so do me a favor. Blow her up.
All right, here you go, Don.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
I wouldn't make that mistake of getting married in the first place, but I might consider it if those wedding vows were to say something to the effect of cook, clean, and swallow.
So you'll be taking your honeymoon in Capistrano?
Not that swallow.
Oh, just checking.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. One of you said that you couldn't take back. Alan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Alan.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. I got one that happened about 8 years ago with an old girlfriend. Actually, she was a live-in, and I'll never forget it. She had gained about 30 pounds over the past few years. You know how it happens, get comfortable in the relationship. And I'd always been very careful about what I said when she asked me about her weight.
Yes.
And she caught me by surprise one day. She came home from work, and she said, I was feeling pretty bad about myself, but the guys at work, they told me I looked great. And without thinking about it, I said, yeah, but they haven't seen you naked. And that was pretty much the end of it. She just looked at me like, you've got to be excuse me, you got to be kidding me. And that was it. She didn't let me see her naked again for 6 weeks after that. She'd come out of the shower and she'd have the towel wrapped around her and she'd close the door, or she wouldn't even come out until she was fully dressed. I learned my lesson.
Women are so sensitive about that stuff.
Oh man, I don't know. It just slipped. As soon as I said it, I knew I was dead meat.
Oh man,
never lived it down.
All right, Alan.
All right, appreciate it, Tom. Take me out old school.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Patrick on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Patrick.
Hey, I got another food-oriented one. My ex-fiance had been packing my lunch for work, and I get home from work one day, and she asks me, well, how was, your lunch? And I used to be a cook, so I was giving her some constructive criticism. I says, well, hey, if you put the lettuce against the bread instead of the tomato, then the bread doesn't get soggy by lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
That was it?
That was it.
That's all it took?
Another lunch. 6 months later, the relationship's gone and done.
Yeah, see, once you have one of those where you can't take something back, eventually it kills the relationship. It does.
I don't know if that was what killed the relationship.
No, but that's not the point. It goes on from there. They start to extrapolate from that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the way he criticizes everything I do. He doesn't like anything about me. But it all starts with that one comment.
That was it.
Yeah. There you go. Patrick, thank you. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Joey on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Joey.
How you doing?
Do you care, Joey?
I do care, Tom. I don't know how you are today.
I'm doing great.
Excellent. Hey, I've got a story for you, buddy. Last year, this is my ex, I guess I could call her ex-fiance. I was at her house, and we were doing the whole Thanksgiving thing, splitting it up half and half her house and half my family. And, of course, I started out with hers, and after everything was all cooked and done on the table, she looked at me, she goes, so, do you like it? And I said, and I just kind of had that look on my face, and she goes, honestly, I said, well, it's not Mom and Grandma's cooking, and she just threw the pumpkin pie on the table. It got all over me. And she goes, "You're serious. You're supposed to tell me that you like my food better than your own family." And that was pretty much it. I hadn't seen her and heard from her since. So I think that's kind of really overly sensitive myself.
Boy, I think I agree with you on that, Joey. Thanks a lot for the call.
The Tom Leykis Show.